Big up you lot, win, lose or draw, Arsenal fan or not. Appreciative to you lot tuned in, regardless, folks. Means the world. Not too long left here. Gabriel. Partey. Vieira. Massive Vieira. Jesus, it don't even matter at this point. Saka, you won't do it. Tries the shot. PSV deal with it. The first and second balls, you lot have not been dealing with it. You make sure they don't counter-attack. Martinelli. Fabio Vieira. You know what? You've been a lot better than the game at the Emirates. Eddie, you're meaty, bro. You're meaty. Ref. You're meaty, bro. You're meaty, man. You know, we're not getting out of the hood, bro. Ref, no one needs to get yellows and that. Eddie's entitled to go for the ball there. You're not the answer, cuz. You're not the answer, my bro. You're not the answer, my guy. Can be part of this squad thing, but we're not getting out the ends, man. We're not getting out the ends. You're not part of the Haaland thing, man. That's not. It's not a that thing. I'll tell you why you got your hands on your head, bro. Eddie does this every week, man. This shouldn't be. A guy's surprised. Eddie's catching the straight. I'm not even getting at anyone. I'm actually like, obviously, I'm not happy to lose the game and that. But Jesus got the yellow. All right. The only thing we did well in hindsight is hold our line defensively for the 2 goals that we got shagged for. Really, that's the only thing we've done well. The linesman's been our best defender today. Fantastic performance from the linesman. We need depth, and he's shown he can play right back, left back, and maybe in the back 3. So we need to sign him. He's got serious anticipation skills. So yeah, but where the actual team is concerned, but you lot are lucky it's not 4-5. Shout VAR as well. Gabriel. 3 headers, not dealt with the first and seconds, and it's just been presented back. Too many times the ball's gone up in the air and everyone's looking like Chucklebutt, like, oh, are you gonna go for it, man? Are you? Go for it, bro. This is what's more annoying me than the result. Because we need to promote good habits. Go for it. Xhaka, stop bullying Xavi Simmons. You don't want it, man. You don't want it. Hey, one of the Bradley Ibrahim, one of them young thugs, get on him. Xhaka, you're rubbing out, bro. We do the time wasting thing. Leave it for little kids, man. Right, Papa try to pick him up. Shut up, man. Shut up, Xavi Simmons, man. You're good. You're an industry plant as well. You're a YouTuber, man. You're like, man, you're one of the only youngsters that are making it. Shout out to you, but behave, man. Don't make us set the young demons on you. Someone call up Kyle Edwards and them kind of man. Xavi Simmons, you're a great player. Xhaka, Ed, mate. Because again, should only be angry at yourselves. As I said, 2 people are going for the same head, though. People are not, Tommy Asso of all people, not looking over the shoulders. You lot should be vexed at yourselves. All I ask is that you lot mash up the clean sheet, because I'll be very surprised if we don't concede a 3rd. Shout out Braithwaite. You might as well stay at PSV, you know. Looking suits you better than this Everton thing. Fair play, lad. Fair play, lad. Whoever that is. Xavi Simmons, man. He did very well in the last game. But yeah, man. Jonathan David, he's not helping us, bro. Come on, DG. We are rolling with a back 3, 4. You don't even know what you're saying. And did that look like a 4 or 3? Honestly. City is going to 4-peat. I hate this sport. Hey, you lot were talking about Arsenal winning leagues and that. I wouldn't say Martinelli's been poor since Liverpool, but yeah, everyone's going to overdo it now in every, this is what's annoying about Arsenal fans. I'm not saying anyone in particular, but half of this team that you lot gassed up to be this, that, and the other, this guy's great, that guy's great. The ones that overdo that, you're the first to turn on these guys, like, and that same energy in a negative thing. You lot stand for nothing because you fall for everything. I know football is an emotional sport, but some of you can't see it, some of you won't see it, and some of you don't know how to see it. Ignorance is truly bliss, and it must be a lot easier living like some of you lot. Like, it's just game to game. And that goes not just for Arsenal fans, a lot of football fans. A lot of people are not fans of the game. So, yeah. Saka, in the grand scheme of things, should have just accepted losing, man. There's no need beyond the obvious for Saka and these guys to be on the pitch, man. You lot have shown you're not like you lot are your best friends and worst enemies. Saka, ref, that's a yellow. You lot have, oh wow, Saka's not even got a free kick. you lot have shown that you need to play with fire several times to get burnt, because the 2 times VAR got involved, should have sat there and said, you know what? Let's wake up. These are the things that frustrate me a bit more, because isolated from this, if you do this against a PSV game where mentally you should have not been as complacent as you should, what are you going to do if and when it's crunch time for trying to get top 4 in May and things like that? And again, the form is kind of concerned. Not even the form necessarily. The performances are concerning going into November. No, November to early January, boy, these fixture lists aren't easy. No one's going to give us nothing. Boy, be angry with yourselves. Of course, if Xavi Simons is talking nonsense, someone do him in. I don't even know the fullback who was talking about Martinelli. You know, Xavi Simons and you lot are tough. What's the change? Is everyone going to do this when there's not bodyguards around and stuff? Is everyone going to do this in the corridor? Pizzagate settings. Don't say a word. Just say after the game. Car park settings. Credit to PSV. They deserve this today. They've earned the right. They played like a team that wanted revenge based on how they played against us at our place. You know, they would have played like a team that, as I said at the start of this start of this live stream, yeah, they're fighting for their lives, and it's not been good for them. You know, they got smacked against Groningen. They lost against us. They're playing for pride, and they've been fighting for their lives. Everybody's done their individual duties. The collectives take care of themselves. Xavi Simons has played even better than he played last week. Gakpo, only criticism is stay bloody on side, but your reputation's enhanced, and a whole bunch of others. But for Arsenal, you know, in the variables we can control, we're at the races from start to finish. Took about 20 minutes to get in the game. Ain't done much. You know, first 5 minutes of the second half was a lot more in the final third than we done. Disjointed, ill-disciplined, unusual amount of complacency, even though we're through to the next round. You know, normalization of performance because we do look a bit tired. Just a naive team. And this is going to happen again. You know, as I said, we got away with certain naiveties. Baggy touch from Saka. And it shows, you know, the limitations on the squad depth and overall quality of certain players because, as I said, when De Jong came on, he's going to take some of these chances that Gakpo may or may not. And as Cody Gakpo could learn a lot from being playing for the next couple of months anyways, playing under Ruud van Nistelrooy and having De Jong in the dressing room. You could learn a lot. If you take a bit of their crafts and add it to yourself, Gakpo could be a real good player. I'm sure he could develop into a striker, but at this moment in time, I think the left wing is his thing. I don't think it's the striker thing. I don't know how good he would be with his back to goal where he'd obviously need an education. Arteta's bound to be 6 minutes left, people. Arteta's bound to be upset purely because, you know, if you listen to him in the press conference like we went over today, you know, he wanted to win. I didn't see a team that wanted to win. You lot had an element of unnecessary complacency. You lot show a lot of naivety. This is why a league challenge cannot happen. But top 4, go as far as you can in the champs and the FA Cup and that. Keep building what you're building. Like I said, I like the destination that we're going in. Days like this are a sobering reality. And I know there's some Arsenal fans that are going to, you know, every player is overrated. Every player is not good enough. Every player is the worst in the world and all these things. But some are going to downplay. Oh, it's one game. You can't win them all. That's true. But neither people love football or love what this club needs to do. I'd say the most annoying thing is the bad habits and the disjointedness. Like even in the second half, like who is playing in defense? Are we playing a 3 or a 4? The fact that you've asked no questions, man. Like the keeper deserves his clean sheet. Like what? Nketiah should have scored. Martinelli should have scored in the first half. Odegaard had an effort like 45th minute. Apart from that, what's really happened? Some of these squad players aren't levels. You lose too much when certain key players aren't playing. You know, you mess about in 90 minutes. You have to start bringing on the troops on to play like the usual people. And you make it more complicated for yourselves. Like now, unfortunately, you need to name your strongest team against Zurich. You should be able to make rotations and win it, but you're going to have to because you're flirting with inserting even more fixtures into the calendar list. We haven't got a squad, you know. Any consequence of not having a full squad or people are injured or people looking tired, I've already said it. I've got a lot of sympathy. I've got a lot of time for Arteta. I've got a lot of sympathies for Arteta. But any issues Arsenal now find themselves in because we haven't got enough players and players that have to play in fitness and fatigue and injuries, I've got no sympathy for Arteta and Edu because you've been here long enough. You've seen the Europa League campaign when we've been in it. You've seen even injuries to a Premier League campaign like last year when we had no football, no European football or really other comps. More games, less players. In simple. Shout out De Jong for the time wasting, acting like his leg's been broken, arm and everything. I have to respect it. You have to be a fan of the game first. So yeah, man. Well, to be fair, it did look like Partey with his size 19 boots just stepped on Luke De Jong's hand. I'm sorry, mate. That hey, I hope your hand's not broken. Oi. I ain't gonna cap, man. He could be messed. Xavi Simmons icing his knee. Big up Xavi Simmons. Just calm down, man. Gabriel, come on, man. Nah, please. 5-yard passes, lad. Oh, Noni Maduka. I hope he's all right. Tripped on the ball off the pitch. Oof. That must have hurt. But yeah, people, PSV are winning. Well deserved. 2-0. I'm kind of happy because it could have been 5, really. You know, shout out to the linesman. And I don't even know if VAR get involved, but VAR as well. And at the start of this, I keep saying voice now. At the start of this live stream, I said, in principle, you know, PSV, the first thing is to put on a performance for their fans. Being at the game at the Emirates, bro, their fans were lit. Obviously, some fans took it too far, but they were lit. And it can't have been nice as a player being so toothless when these fans have made the journey with their own pockets. So I think they've done that. They've won their individual battles. We've named a strong team in it. There's no excuses. I don't want to hear nothing about fatigue and all these things. They're all relevant factors. But we've lost the game because we did not control the variables we could control. We were not in it from start to finish. We was on it for 5 minutes in the second half. We took 20 minutes to wake up in the first half. We've been indifferent in between. You have to earn the right to win. Same way was what we was doing at the start of the season. Some players probably think they're on a level that they should, that they're not on. So, you know, maybe we think we've written wrongs and gone up certain levels and skipped certain stages. Maybe. Ultimately, a limited squad. You know, when you actually have to rely on some of these squad players that have been given opportunities today, they're not levels. But we move, man. Don't forget, people, to set your reminders for Sunday. We kick off at 2 p.m. against Nottingham Forest, which then if we're moving like this, then it's a madness in it, people. Set your reminders. We'll be there for that. At least this was at 5:45. We're not watching this at stupid o'clock. No, bro. This is in Europa League. Jesus can get a yellow, bro, in this. I like Xhaka, but you're rubbed, man. You're bullying youngers, man. Xavi Simmons is a likable player, man. I like the fight in him. But that's how them Dutch guys are 9 times out of 10. City ain't 4-peating with Mars in the team. The assignment stays the same as the top 14. Careful, man. People sit there and tell me I'm pessimistic and I'm this and I'm that. Fair enough. Wait. If you can, mash up the clean sheet. At least a little 2-1 looks a lot better. But yeah, man. Oh, where's the timer? What's going on there? Sorry, folks. There you have it. 3 minutes of added on time. Big up you lot, man. Xhaka misses the game against Zurich. Wait, what the fuck? Sorry for swearing. What are you being serious, Pablo Mari? What the hell, man? Where is that, man? That's it's got to be a rumor, man. Oh shit. Well, the football game don't effing matter, does it? You know, really now. Corner kick to Arsenal, but 2 minutes left. At this point, who cares, man? Gabriel, I don't care, man. Like, I want to see this with Pablo Mari. 1 of 5 people stabbed during a 3 of them are in critical condition. It is not known what condition he is in. He's conscious and in hospital. The 46-year-old Italian man is believed to have taken a knife from the shelves and started randomly stabbing people in the store. I hope Pablo Mari's all right, but what the fuck, man? Yeah, who honestly cares about football now? Like, I hope it's fake, and you know, I hope that not that people should be doing that, people, but I hope that is some pranksters nonsense, some dickheads being silly. You don't really want to. I hope he's all right, man. I wouldn't say we didn't respect them. Arteta went there, he didn't do what we needed to. That's effed up, man. That's messed up my mood. I can't lie to you, look. 30 seconds. Obviously, I don't know Pablo Mari from nowhere, but like, what the hell, man? Come on, big man. I hope you're all right, man. I don't know. I have to assume this 46-year-old is clearly not well upstairs, respectfully for the outdated terminology. It's clearly not well, 100%. And the madness has just happened, and wrong place, wrong timing. But, you know, again, thoughts go out with Pablo Mari and his family. But also, you know, from what the report says, it seems like he kind of got off lightly, really, because it said he's stable and in hospital. The others are in a serious condition. Shout out to PSV as well. Big up them for winning as well, people. But that's thrown me off. And pardon me, it's a bit mad because unfortunately in my life, people getting stabbed, it's not really that moving, really. Maybe it's because Pablo Mari's a celeb and that. But Italy, one of my brethren is Italian. They said they do the knife thing over there still. Apparently in Naples, it gets busy still. Like, you wear a certain watch. That's effed up, man. Credit to PSV. Better competitors on the night. Fantastic performance from all of them involved. Xavi Simons, stock gone up. Gakpo, stock gone up. Fantastic performance from them, man. There. Fantastic performance from them, man. I have to give it to them. Pause. Fantastic performance from them, man. You know, won their individual battles, collective won their battles. De Jong, for me, made the difference with his experience. Gakpo, if he could just stay on side, would be even better. Xavi Simons did his thing. For Arsenal, boy, we still sit top with 12 points. Have to beat Zurich now. Xhaka allegedly suspended for it. Just terrible day, isn't it, really? Like, terrible day. Like, first thing, showed indiscipline even when the performance is gone. To be champions, you need to also lose like winners as well. And listen, nobody loves handbags more than me on TV. I don't want to hot up myself, but if you know me in my personal life, you know I live for this, innit? Like, I know people, I really live for this. Like, it's not just a pitch thing. It's, let's do this in the car park, you know, whether I hold an L or a W, which again, if you know, you know. But there's a certain way of conducting yourself. We're losing our collective and individual discipline. We lost our individual and collective battles all over the park, offered nothing in a final third. You know, again, a couple of players are not there. Our midfield's atrocious, you know, bit of a conservative right-hand side. Yeah, man, obviously we're in a bit of a slump at this moment where, you know, we've walked up. This is the only time we've been made to pay for it, really and truly. But this is what happens, because a lot of what I saw today defensively, we've been doing that even when at the start of the season. Old habits die hard, and it takes forever to install discipline. We're adding new discipline in our team. We're starting to think a bit defensively and unlearn bad habits, but we're an improved defensive side. We're not a good defensive side. You see with it there. Clearly, Arsenal need too many warning signs. The minute the first two goals, even the first one, was ruled out via offside, alarm bell should have been ringing. We only really turned up for 20 minutes of that first half. It took Martinelli should have scored in the first half, but a real chance of note, probably Odegaard's where he should have scored. You know, second half disjointed. They should have scored a lot more. As I said, VAR and the linesman man of the match, really. Shambolic defense, really, because arguably that is a defense that could have been in the Premier League, with the exception of Holding. Holding showed why he's not there. So yeah, it's a bit of a downward turn, and it's not the optimism you want to see going into Nottingham Forest and this period from now until the end of the season or until the World Cup break. We deserve to lose today. You know, I tried to tell you, look, it was going to be a different game. Shout Xavi Simons and Gakpo and De Jong, who's the man of the match for me, even though the younger lads will get the talking points. Mentally, some players look like they think that we're a level we're not. Some players think that, you know, we don't have to keep doing the basics, what we're doing. Very disappointed, especially even conceding from a set piece, you know. De Jong's goal, Ramsdale, don't know what you're doing. Even the goal which led to it. I mean, the move which led to it, far too open, you know. Again, it looks like we're doing a mixture of man marking and zonal marking. Tierney, Holding, Saliba, Tomiyasu, even Tomiyasu following runners. Very disjointed. Ramsdale, hang your head in shame. You know, I don't turn on none of these players. I still protect them. I still believe in them. Holding's not quite of the standard. We know that. But these guys have this in them. It's been there. As I said, Leicester at home was the best example for me. It's been there when we lost to United. It's been there when we beat Fulham. It's been there when we beat Liverpool and Spurs. But a lot of people let and I know football's an emotional game. A lot of people let just the result mask their mind. Why do you think I watch the game 2-3 times consistently? Because you need to see what you want to see, and then you need to see what's actually happened, and then you need to look again a third time, typically just to watch off the ball. The only thing I could say I would like to have seen a bit more from Arteta, it's probably something you should have done in the summer. Like the level of squad when certain players are not playing, it's not quite there really and truly. Like it's not levels really. So any problems we have with depth, with over-relying on certain players, as much as I think Arteta is the guy for us, and he's got a lot to still improve, but doing a lot, you and Edu have been here a long time to know you need a squad in it. Other people making it happen. And it's all been for nothing, really, because we named the strong squad. The players have been atrocious. You now probably got to name a strong squad against Zurich. You had to bring players off the bench and probably play players more than you were required to today. But it's a terrible day at the office. Now, you know, we're still top, but you have to keep going. And it's a bit of a sticky period for Arsenal now. Again, against PSV, by our own standards, we were flat. Comfortably our worst performance of the season, in my opinion. Tonight, comfortably, like really comfortably. Leeds, we were fortunate. Southampton, we were flat in the second half. So again, naiveties. Today, you start as you mean to carry on. And in a negative way, we started as we finished the game, second best. And sometimes we start well, even the improvements we've made, we start well in games and we're a bit flat in the second half consistently. We've still got them nervy moments. And again, for me, prevention is better than cure. I haven't seen players going off and saying, boy, okay, the fact that they're offside is great high line in that, but maybe, Gakpo's making good runs. Should we go, should we be a bit more proactive in this regard? Xavi Simons the same, because Xavi Simons' goal that got disallowed was very unfortunate, and it was shambolic defending, really. It should really be 5-6 to PSV. Credit to them. Limited the space, the variable. They can't be held accountable for how good or bad we were. They won their individual battles, whatever Ruud van Nistelrooy collectively they did. They've taken 2 L's on the spin prior to this against us and Groningen. They hit back, As I said earlier, they let their fans down really at the Emirates because their fans are mad. I can't hear the commentary, but I'm pretty sure the fans were going and they were riding off the 12th man aspect as well. So yeah, anytime your midfield's anonymous, Xhaka's having to be a bit cautious with the way he's playing. Lokonga, I think people are gendering him, but not levels. Vieira, probably the only. That's what I would say, really. Vieira, the only, I don't even think positive, but the only sort of positive. The only positive to me is that it's not 5-6 and somehow we're top of the group. And we knew for us, we're talking about us or PSV for first and second. Prior to this game, if PSV lost this and Glint, which I don't know their result, win today and next week against them, it is what it is. These lot talked about not wanting to play the last game of the 32, and it's fantastic. This is the first L. We've won everything else, but the last, including this, the last 2 group stage games, you haven't been good enough. We beat Glint. We're better than them. We didn't have to do much. We beat PSV. We weren't terrible, but we weren't good. We was very reactive, and anything could happen today. These lot have to learn a lot. So, boy, we still got a good run in the Europa and the league, but these are the games you need to learn from. But and I don't like these things, but it's like people always want to sit there and say I'm negative, and because everybody's doing a madness about winning leagues and this and that, and I'm not necessarily. I don't know why like people can't see these things. My thing is, I'm frustrated. I'm not frustrated about the result beyond the obvious. Of course, I don't want to lose. Of course, I'd love to win. Young players play and all these things. It's when you can see certain things. As I said, prevention is better than cure. Reactive defending is what's going to sell things. What I mean by reactive defending is if people are sliding into a million tackles and things. Proactive defending would be reading a situation. And there was many times we're losing the ball. They're just going and hitting us on the transition. That is the build up to the second goal where they got the penalty. And on a penalty and a corner. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, man. We look a bit flat, we look a bit stale, but these things happen in the season. And I said, the trajectory is not that. The players have got to roll up their socks. Anyone feeling sorry for themselves, stay. Where is PSV? Is it in Amsterdam? Stay in Holland. Go to a coffee shop because you're going to need that. All of you lot better buy some brownies and just go have a shower and go sleep, really. You have to learn from this and get going because the game's only going to get harder. You know, you got to take this as a lesson. If you play like this in the last 16, last 32, you're gone. If you play like this in the quarters and semis, you're gone. If you play like how you play like this or like last season at crunch time in the Premier League, you're gone. This showed me you can't really go and do a professional job. And again, the concerning thing as well, not that there's anything really beyond what I'm stating to be mad concerned about. Sorry for hitting the mic with Arsenal. The concerning thing for me is these lackluster at home. There's been times where generally we're good at home. You know, Spurs and Liverpool was good. Moments where it could have went left, right, like Leicester, but we're good. It's away from home where you can't always get that. You know, away from home, Man United, St Mary's, Leeds, whatever, PSV Stadium, whatever it's called. It's just the naiveties. And this is why we're not title contenders to me. Like, of course, if you keep winning and you stay there first, second, third, fourth, there's certain naiveties and that can't be there. And there's certain assurances that have to be in your team. I always say, how good are you at your worst? That's comfortably the worst performance for me this season, I believe, for Arsenal, because the basics are not being done. We're getting drawn out into silly little fist fight, not even fist fights, silly little handbags. We're losing our discipline. Couple men are chasing the game. Couple men don't even know, look like they're with it. You know, we're not creating. We're not doing nothing really. That's why. And it is what it is. So it's a learning curve, if you could say that. And as usual, people, if I haven't made clear with these emerging things with Pablo Mari, forget the result for a sec. We hope him and everyone else that's a victim of this stabbing ish that's happening is doing all right over there. Over there in Italy. Apparently he's stable and he's in hospital, people. He's conscious, better yet, and he's in hospital. Apparently at 5:30 UK time, 6:30 UK, 6:30 local time, in the outskirts of Milan, wherever that is. He was in a supermarket and him and 5 other people were stabbed by a 46-year-old Italian man who's believed to have taken a knife from the shelves and started randomly stabbing people in the store. The aggressor has been arrested and taken into police custody, so he can't be all right, man. And apparently it could have been a lot worse. Apparently the supermarket was packed, and as there's some sort of I don't know what place Bo is. Is that an artist? I don't know, but there's a gig going on in it. So yeah, thoughts are with him and anyone else a victim, really and truly. So yeah, that's the real bad news. What is a football result, really? This is why I always say in life, if the worst thing in your life is your football team's not won a game or the form's iffy, there's real things going on, unfortunately. But yeah, man, that's what I would say in relation to that at the moment, people. Worst performance of the season, deserve to lose. Lucky it's not worse. Whatever we paid the linesman to allow us with this VAR stuff or this offside stuff, you got to give him extra 10% because he saved us. Crazy. But these things are going to happen in the season. You just have to move on. As I said, the variables that we can control weren't controlled today. I never saw players that want to tell Arteta, I want to stay and be in the lineup. I never saw people that might be in the lineup and might be, you know, if we were saying Arteta's gone a bit too strong a player, and I never saw them wanting to retain their shirts. I never saw a team that wanted to go back on the plane, train, whatever we're doing to Holland with confirmation that we're top of the group and you're in the last 16, because mathematically, goal difference plays a huge part. But if you mess about, weirder things have happened in football. You mess about against Zurich, PSV pull off a result against Clint, you're in the last 32. That's 2 extra games inserted into the fixture calendar list with a weak squad in terms of depth and overall quality, without assuring that we're going to get people in January, innit? So naiveties, man. Naiveties. A bit like, and again, these things are going to happen. The Southampton game, you knew going into it, United and Chelsea drop points. And again, winning, losing comes with football. You win that, you know Newcastle are in form. I thought Spurs were going to win. But you know Newcastle are in form. You take advantage. And it's not just, sometimes we've done that. Sometimes other teams will take advantage. You know, like how Spurs lost last week and everyone else drew, apart from City, we'll be the ones to lose, or we're the only ones to win. And that goes for all the other teams. I don't even know there's 1 game left of the group stage now. And God knows how, you know, if you go from the group stage last 16 or last 32 to the final, God knows how much football that is. There's over 20 games where the Premier League is concerned. Obviously, I want to go as far as he can in the FA Cup and obviously the League Cup. Whether these things happen are completely different things, people. So Lord knows how many games are at. But you learn more in defeat. Because sometimes we've done certain things, as I said, like this in games we've won. And people are shut up. Even the United defeat, where people say we was the better team, where we probably was, but we didn't win. The better team don't always win, but I'd rather have been them, innit? Really and truly. You know, there's things to take from every game, and it looked like a lot of players are complacent today. Oh yeah, man, terrible. Best for Marie 100, man. DG keeping it real as always. We enjoy the wins, learn from the L's, and respect the direction. Winnable game this weekend. We move. Thanks for the watch along. Appreciative of that. In terms of watch alongs, I probably will do Leicester City at 12:30 on Saturday. But where Arsenal's concerned, we'll be here at 1 p.m. UK time as well, folks, on Sunday because we're playing Nottingham Forest at the same time of 2 p.m. Yeah, hope Marie's all right, man. My gosh, Arteta should have known we're playing a dangerous game, a dangerous team at their home territory. The disjointed ish from the fringe players was never going to go away. I ain't gonna lie. I think some play. I think a lot. I don't think no one was good today, bar a couple of moments from Vieira. But I'm not gonna lie. There's an element of scapegoating. Not saying you, but certain men are gonna get scapegoated. I'm Ramsdale FC, terrible today. Tierney, terrible defensively. Saliba, terrible defensively. Tomiyasu, terrible defensively. Xhaka, anonymous. Lokonga, good in some moments, good in others. You talk too much. Shut the fuck up. Play some football and learn. Stop chatting. Let your feet do the talking because they're not talking right now. But even that, I think people are doing too much there. Martinelli should have scored 100th appearance. I love you. I love what you bring to the table, but you showed your age today. You know, Saka anonymous off the bench. Jesus anonymous off the bench. Really can't really get onto them. The tie's done. Eddie and Ketty are not an ounce of service because our midfield is anonymous. Didn't do much. Odegaard, good in some moments, anonymous for the large part. You can't keep relying on the same. It's not sustainable what we're doing. And I still think we can get top 4 and have a decent season. But it is going to be a struggle because what we're doing is unsustainable, people. It's unsustainable. And the way we're playing is amazing and that, but it doesn't last forever. The sheer depth of the squad. And as I said, unfortunately, I've got a lot of time for Arteta and Edu, and I've got a lot of sympathies for them, Arteta specifically. But any issues that revolve around injuries, squad depth, relying on certain players too much, no sympathy because you lot are in charge of technically planning this squad. And a couple of midfielders left in the summer that might be able to use here. Yeah, we tried. We're not trying to do mad things. We're trying to be good with the money. That's all great, but it's a results-driven business. It's unsustainable. And the only thing I could be really vexed about Arteta today is what was going on with that backline. Before that, there was I don't even remember the passage, but you lot are watching it with me, or who was in defense? Was it Partey? Was it Tierney in a back three? Was you trying to be like Xavi with Alonso in the back 4 yesterday? What was going on? Tomiyasu not looking over his shoulders. I couldn't believe it. You knew it was going to be a difficult one. You knew PSV were going to be at it for obvious reasons stated already. You know, you knew we've got a conservative right-hand side. Tomiyasu isn't going to overlap too many times. You can count it on one hand. Fabio Vieira, yeah, there was a cute couple nutmegs, but he'll always, if Saka's right wing, he'll always look to try and link up with Odegaard, but he's more likely to turn on his right shoulder and go down the flanks. Vieira 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10, look up left foot, cross it to the other side or whip it into the other side, try find Martinelli, or let's try and get some 1-2s on the semicircle going, you know, in the edge of the area, people. So we knew the right-hand side weren't going to say much. Xhaka can't do the Xhaka things he's doing because it's Lokonga next to him. Lokonga don't show for the ball enough. Whether Arteta's told him to do that or not, it's not working. Odegaard's having to go too deep. Tierney and Martinelli are trying, but it's toothless. We're killing ourselves. And on top of that, we've killed ourselves then. And clearly our mentality going into the game has been terrible. Half time, it looked like there was a reaction. And then after 5 minutes, it went. Literally, the first 5 minutes, I think we attacked with Tierney down our left. Tierney tried laying it with his right foot. I think Eddie had an effort or Martinelli, one of them. I can't even remember. Took 20 minutes to wake up in the first. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, man.